Tectus asks, what did it feel like when you finished the Bulge finale? I was worried about how it would be received. For the most part, it was received kindly, but there were also some negative responses to it, which, I mean, I suppose that's kind of natural with making videos on the internet, but it was much more so than most of my other videos, so I was a bit concerned about that. I also felt I just had gotten a huge weight off of my shoulders since I've been working on it for months upon months, and it was already way behind. I should have uploaded it, like, in July, but it didn't get out until early September, which I was concerned would almost drive certain people away. What is your favorite part of making a video? That would definitely have to be script writing, since that's where you can really be creative, make a video your own, while the other parts I find to be much more repetitive, and it's much more of just a routine that you have to push through to make a video. What do you intend on making after Without a Summer? I honestly have zero clue. I'm focused on the now. Besides, the series, it just started, so I don't really see a reason to be focusing on plans after that. Who are your inspirations? Well, I would say that those would probably be ones like Anchor, Cosmic, since those are some of the early ones I watched, and the ones that got me interested in mapping. But I didn't start my channel until years after that. I would also say that ARM was the one that really inspired me to actually start, since I liked his style, and how he made his videos. So, yeah. When do you discover mapping, and when did you finally decide to plan your first series? I already covered a bit about how I discovered mapping. That was like in the 2016, 2017 era. But about starting a channel, that didn't happen until several years later. I mean, I didn't really even have plans to do it until mid-2020, since beforehand I thought it was out of reach, I could never actually do it myself. But I didn't actually, like, start plans for Dawn, my first series, until a few weeks before I started my channel and uploaded the trailer. That series was pretty much entirely just go with the flow. Yeah. Do you ever plan on making a tutorial? I don't know. I don't feel like even if I did, it would contribute anything new or actually worthwhile. I mean, there are already tons of valuable tutorials out there that would benefit anyone who wants to start mapping. Sorry. So I'm leaning towards not having a tutorial. But we'll just have to see. Submarine Sultana asks, Minecraft or Fortnite, which is better? Minecraft, and by a long shot. I mean, who even plays Fortnite anymore? Seriously. I mean, that game has been dead for God knows how many years, and it's just a knockoff. Okay, it's not a knockoff, but if you want to play a battle royale, go play Apex, alright? Just go play Apex. Get off Fortnite. Stop spending money on V-Bucks, you little 10-year-old twits. What do you think of Star Trek? I honestly have no opinion on it since I never got into Star Trek in, like, any way. What I will say, I do like Star Wars. So take that as you like. Maybe that means I somehow hate Star Trek. I don't know. Is Blast That Was Heard Around the World going to be a good series? First of all, it's called Without a Summer. That's just the name of the prologue. And second, I mean, I sure hope so. I mean, that's kind of the goal. And last but not least, would you live in Rome if you were given a chance? I mean, do I really have a choice here? I mean, all roads lead to Rome, so no matter where I am, I'd be living in Rome. Okay. All jokes aside, I don't think so. I'm not really a big fan of, like, any sort of, like, poshness or formality. And I kind of think of Rome as that kind of city. So I wouldn't really want to live there. I'd want to live somewhere much more laid back. Les questions pour vous. I have no clue how accurate that was. Did you expect to get 1K subs, and how do you feel now that you have 1K? I'm going to be honest, I did expect to get 1,000 subs. I didn't really know how long it would take or what the journey there would be like. I wasn't really expecting it to go as fast as it did. But that's all I can really say about that. And how do you feel now that you have 1K? I mean, I'm excited about it, and I mean, I'm excited that I have a lot of people that like my content and that enjoy watching it, but at the same time, it could also have me perceived as now a actually decent sized mapper, which could change how you are treated within the community depending on where you are. So I mean, I'd have to live it to really understand it. How do you come up with ideas for series? Um, I mean, I generally have a pretty decent understanding of history in a generally broad area. So I have quite a few options to choose from. I generally like to choose ones that I both find interesting, but are also more obscure than, like, what if Germany totally won World War II? Um, so I like to go with something like that. Um, Sometimes it goes well, sometimes not so well. Um, but I mean, hey, that's life. What do you usually do while mapping? Um, I generally listen to, like, epic music tracks. I mean, that helps me be motivated to map. Um, because I mean, you can also get some ideas of what music you want to use in your episode. Because epic music is generally what you use in mapping. How do I come up with more ideas for questions? Um, I think that's kind of I think that's more of a you problem, Buckaroo. I am an American. Uh, Go USA. How long will Without a Summer be? Um, it's going to be at least 10 episodes, or a single season. But with how I'm setting it up, um, I'm going to guess that I'm probably going to make it a 2-season series, but do not hold me to that. It may change. When will Minecraft die? I think it's going to follow a similar cycle that it did of having its rise, then it falls apart. But then a few years later, someone brings it back through one mean or another, and I think that sort of thing will keep on going for quite a while, because I don't really think Minecraft is a sort of game that can die, because there's always something new you can do in it, as far as I know. What do you think of alternate history as a book genre, if you have any thoughts? I think it's a hit or miss sort of thing. There are some good ones, but there are also some that would uh, be better used as toilet paper. Um, so I mean, yeah, it's it's really kind of uh, based on that specific book. Judging as a genre isn't really fair. Why did you make the bold finale 3 hours long? Um, well, there were a lot of arcs that I had not finished or fully addressed, so I need to get those all done, which took a lot of time to do. I think I did some of them better than others, but I suppose that's subjective. So I mean, yeah, I just need a lot of time to uh, figure out how to really wrap it all up. Uh, was Was or Bulge? Was Was or Bulge planned ahead of time? Uh, I mean, sort of. For Bulge, a lot of it was go with the flow, very similar to Dawn and Galerty. Um, I have over time gotten better at actually planning things out. I think Without a Summer's the one I have definitely start to do well. I already No, I already have a pretty basic idea of what I want to do. Several episodes ahead, and I know the basic idea of what I want to accomplish by the end of it. Can you name 3 Polish mappers? Actually, yes, I can. Illyra Mapping, Zost, and Wadzer Mapping. Gouch or Pax? Pax. Astro or Hydra? I am not going to answer that. Is Sabricus a real person? Now, all of you may not believe this, but indeed, Sabricus is a living, sentient human being. In fact, to prove this, I have acquired some leaked photos of Sabricus. Can we put these up? Oh, there they are. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, Sabby, but we had to know, alright? What food do you like? I like a wide variety of things. Like chicken, I like pasta, burgers, brats, I like Mexican food, I like certain Asian food, I like shrimp, scallops. I could probably keep going on, but Name 3 countries you would like to visit. I definitely want to visit the UK. Probably also France, and and the third one would either have to be Canada or Mexico. Probably just depending on the day. Name 3 countries that should not exist at all. I'm gonna go with Papua New Guinea because I mean that island has so many different ethnicities, cultures, languages. It's just a mess over there. I don't want to go with Indonesia because that's right next to Papua New Guinea, but I'm gonna go with Indonesia. I mean, that country is way too big for its own good. Too many lingual groups, cultures, etc. And third, I'm gonna have to go with probably. This one's a tough one because I want to choose the correct one. I'm gonna go with South Africa because you have the descendants of the Boers, you have the Zulu, you have the Xhosa, the Zudans. Yeah, I mean, as before, too big for its own good. Have you ever met a mapper in person? No, I have not. It's cringy enough just being around them on the internet, but seeing them in person, oh god, I do not even want to imagine that. Favorite color? Green. Congrats with 1K. I mostly know you thanks to Basilius. Lol. Well then, this time I'll ask you only 11 questions. How long did it take to make your map? That took me, I believe, a couple weeks since I had to get all the Gigamap 16K stuff set up, but also Trace one of Chinese's 8K maps, and also change the color palette, add borders, just tinker with a lot of different things to get that done. So it did take a couple of weeks to get done. What was the biggest map you ever made? That title goes to the one I am currently using in Without a Summer, which is a 16K gigamap. Which editing program do you use? I would most likely save that for a tutorial if that ever comes, which I honestly don't know if it will. Number 4, I've already answered that. Number 5, if you want to make an 8K map, which advices, tips would you give me? Or not, lol. I mean, I would say that the best way to do that is to first make sure you have reliable maps that are both A, high quality, and B, are both very versatile, so you can use them however you really like. From there, it's really just up to you what you want to do. Change saturation, hue, how dark or light it may be. A lot of it is just up to a personal choice. There are, I believe, tutorials on like how to do that kind of stuff, like how to add border glows, stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I'd recommend you just tinker with it and then go from there. If you have to describe what kind of mapper you are, what would you say? I would say that I am generally neo-edge, but I also feel like I'm a bit more edgy than like a Korean sort of mapper, perhaps. So I guess just this may seem a bit cringy, but I'd say neo-edgy with a little bit more edge, I suppose. Kind of a mix between those two genres. How did you make your PFP so based? I mean, I had an idea on what I wanted to do with it ahead of time, so I knew what I was looking for. I don't really even remember how I made it. I can't even recreate it now, really, so I can't really give you a very good answer to that because I honestly don't remember. Which style of mapping do you like the most? I generally like neo-edgy the most, but edgy can be good as well if done properly. How long did you take preparations for the series Bulge? Not near enough. I should have taken probably several weeks to do so. Plan out at least a few episodes from the start so I don't get behind, and also have a good idea on what I wanted the end to look like what I wanted to achieve, which I've done a much better job of doing in Without a Summer so far, which I would say is where a lot of the issues with Bulge came from, that just wasn't planned out properly. And I'm definitely going to improve on that in the future. What's the most important stuff for you during your YouTube career? I'd say that you need to have a few things. You need an interest in geography, history, maybe geopolitics, depending on what exactly you're trying to do. You also need patience, and you also need the ability to improve over time, not get too stuck in your ways. Otherwise, you're just going to pump out more and more of the exact same stuff time and time again. So, I mean, yeah, you need a You need a mix between humbleness, but you also need to have confidence in your work when it deserves that confidence. Yeah. Your English is so good. Do you have advices/tips? Well, I am American, so it's not really much of a compliment to speak it properly and fluently, but advice for anyone that is not fluent or native in the language, I would say that there are two things. I would say that first, do well in English foreign language class if you have it, or sign up for it if it's not a mandatory thing and it's available. But if you don't want to do that, I would say that a way to get a better idea of how English speakers actually talk instead of like the formalities and proper English is probably through like pop culture. Like you could watch Hollywood movies, TV shows, read books. You could really do a lot of stuff with it, or even talk with people who speak the language online. There's a lot of different ways to learn English, since it is by far the most influential language across the world. So you will not have an issue in finding ways to learn it. It's just about having the will and the drive to learn it properly. What helps you stay motivated to map? Sometimes I even ask myself that, to be honest. But at the end of the day, I would say that it's probably the fact that a lot of people enjoy the content I make and that I'm actually entertaining people. I'm also, along the way, learning new stuff about history. I get to chat with people about it. And there's a lot of parts about it that I do enjoy, but the second question is one part that I generally do not enjoy so much. What do you think of the mapping community as a whole? I'm not going to really get into much detail about this. Some of you may already know, but I've had like arguments and some feuds with people that really have just made me not like the community as a whole. That doesn't mean there aren't still some really cool people in the community, but how it's currently set up and organized and how people generally interact, I do not like. The 45th President of the United States asks, why did you decide to make Magyar, aka Hungary, the main character? Well, since I was making a series that was going to be inherently revolved around the Axis in some way or another, I had to choose someone that was from the Axis. I couldn't choose Japan since they were in Asia, and this was a European focused series since it was based around Operation Bulge. So that eliminates all Axis members that are not in Europe. I can't choose Germany because that is way too cliche and way overdone. And by the time the series starts, most of the Axis nations had either surrendered and fallen apart, or had switched sides, such as Romania, Bulgaria, etc. So I was really only left with a few options. I decided to make Hungary the main character because they were one of the only ones that were really still around that weren't just artificial Nazi creations, such as the Slovak Republic, the Italian Socialist Republic. I do understand that Hungary was, at that time, pretty much a vassal state of Germany, but I decided to change that around a bit to fit it in to the storyline. Eiserness Kreuz or Gouch? Graphics-wise, Eiserness Kreuz, but story-wise, Gouch. Intolerance or the other series that Minor Mapping has made? Which other series are you talking about? You're talking about The Flood, Paix, 1650, or what? I will probably, Intolerance is definitely the best of them so far. Kaliningrad General or no idea? Kaliningrad General. Estonia Ball Animations or Taco Boy? Taco Boy. Carmine or PWA? PWA. Do you like Mr. Spherical, the new channel that's grown a lot recently? I mean, yeah. Favorite country? I mean, that's my own country, America. Without a Summer is undoubtedly a very unique what-if concept, and I'm wondering, where'd you get this idea from? What got you to come up with this idea? I don't really know where I got the idea from. What I have noticed is that volcano apocalyptic series were not really like a thing that was established well in mapping. So I had a very easy time coming up with a unique story for it, since it really was new territory. I guess I just kind of knew about it as an event, and I decided I could do something pretty cool with it, because I always wanted to do something apocalyptic and dark. Hi Wicked Mapping, I am a small, new, and underrated mapper. I make a really good and original alternate World War I series that just hit 50 subscribers, and I was thinking maybe we could collaborate on a series together, with you making episodes for my channel, and me making episodes for yours as part of this awesome collaboration. I think it'd be really cool, Wicked Mapping. Please let me know, and thank you. You know what, Sabby? I think I might be up for this idea. I mean, joining a collab would be a pretty interesting idea, wouldn't it? But we have so many different directions we could go down. I mean, it's such a broad range. I mean, what would this collab even be about?